It was an act of defiance and subsequent punishment that gained 3 Tennessee lawmakers, known as the Tennessee 3, national headlines earlier this year, following a school shooting in Nashville that left 6 dead. The Democrats protesting for gun reform on the State House floor, that a violation of protocol led to the expulsion of 2 of the Tennessee lawmakers by the GOP majority. Both have since won re-election.
And joining us now is the member of the Tennessee 3 who avoided expulsion, and she's just announced her candidacy for the U.S. Senate. Tennessee State Representative Gloria Johnson, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here.
Good to see you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Now, you're a Democrat. You're looking to unseat a Republican. Tell us why you believe that you're the right person to be the next senator from Tennessee.
Well, I believe that I speak to the issues that Tennesseans care about. You know, people talk about us being a Republican state. Well, what we do is we've got a lot of folks that aren't voting in Tennessee, and we need to motivate those folks and get more people out to vote. We're building a big coalition who wants to see something different, because 80% of Tennesseans want to see gun sense legislation, and it's being ignored by my colleagues across the aisle. 80% of Tennesseans believe we should have abortion care at some level, and we have almost a complete ban on abortion, and Marsha Blackburn is interested in a federal ban on abortion. And then she'll talk about freedom. We need something different, and Tennesseans deserve better. They deserve someone who cares about them and the things that they need, those issues that are so important to every family, like higher wages, access to affordable health care, and great schools. We're not hearing any of that from our leadership across the aisle in Tennessee.
Now, what do you say to those who say the odds are stacked against you? I mean, a Democrat hasn't been elected to a statewide office in Tennessee since 2006, and it's been almost 30 years since a Democrat has held a seat in the Senate.
Well, that's what people need to understand. There is a movement happening in Tennessee. When the event with the Tennessee 3 happened, when they tried to expel members for their First Amendment rights, not only all of Tennessee paid attention, but the entire nation watched. And they saw, and you see the erosion of democracy in Tennessee. People are paying attention like they never have before. People are concerned about what's happening. We are building a huge movement. Thousands showed up at the Capitol, students, parents with their young children, caring deeply about the fact that gun violence is now the #1 killer of our youth. And we want to get something done. And we're building a multiracial, multi-generational movement. This is a people-powered campaign. And we are continuously building, welcoming in the Gen Z voters, letting them lead, but also, involving senior citizens. Right now, they're trying to negotiate drug prices for senior citizens to lower their prescription cost. And the person I'm running against, Marsha Blackburn, is trying her best to keep drug prices high. But it shouldn't be too surprising, because she's gotten almost $2 million from big pharma and insurance companies.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Marsha Blackburn.
Sure.
You brought her up twice here. She's the first woman to win a Senate seat in Tennessee. She's running again. She released this campaign video yesterday. And in the video, she references you directly. She says you're as woke as they come and a direct threat to our way of life. Now, in the past, you've called her a bully. But what's your response to her critique of you?
Well, I think she demonstrated exactly why I used that term. Not only was she's bullying everyone who thinks differently than her. And that's not acceptable. And, I guess we're glad we heard from her here in Tennessee, because we don't hear much from her unless it's those same national talking points. But she doesn't talk to Tennesseans. She hasn't had a town hall in 5 years. She's not talking about the issues that really are meaningful to Tennessee families.
It's no secret that the attempt to remove you from office put you on a national stage, especially when you talk about national exposure. Has it helped or hurt your campaign for the Senate?
Well, what I would say is, like I said earlier, people are paying closer attention than they ever have before. I've talked to Republicans. I'm from East Tennessee. It's predominantly Republican, but they're disgusted with what they saw. And they tell me they're voting differently this year because we are seeing an erosion of democracy. We are seeing parents and people who have a voice in the community not being allowed to hold a notebook paper-sized sign up in committees. You know, they're taking away the First Amendment rights of visitors to the Capitol, visitors to our committees, and members. And people do not want to see that happen. This is not something that folks are okay with. And then when 80% of the state wants gun sense legislation, when 80% of the state wants cannabis reform, or 80% plus want paid family leave. And these are things that they won't even talk about.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Tennessee State Representative Gloria Johnson. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.